It's so easy to walk around just being the nice guy, but the reality is you're only doing that to make yourself feel better. Kindness is about helping others. It's Evie here. Welcome to EML Radio, where we are always talking truth. All of those things you need to hear that nobody else is willing to say. Hi there. Welcome back to EML Radio. I'm going to talk to you guys today about something that has really been weighing heavy on my mind. And that is the difference between what it means to be nice and what does it mean to actually be kind? And honestly, I don't think most people even know the difference or have even thought about it. And I see it everywhere, people using these two words interchangeably. And being nice is absolutely not the same as being kind. So let me just throw this out there. I fucking hate the word nice. And that is because nice is easy, right? What it really means to be nice is really nothing more than just don't be an asshole. And for me, that's kind of a given. Right? I always laugh because my husband, whenever we're like making business decisions or we meet a new realtor, or, anyone that we're kind of like gonna bring in or hire or work with to help us in some area of our life, his comment is always like, well, she was really nice. Well, he was really nice. And I always tell him like, I don't know what the fuck that means. They just weren't an asshole to us. Well, I would hope not. I don't like nice for that very reason. It's just so easy. And it's a word that is thrown around as if being nice makes you some kind of, better person, or it makes you a decent person, or it makes you some kind of, social warrior. The reality is being nice stems from being all about you. Being nice is actually being weak. Now, hear me out. I know some of you are going to be like, what the heck are you talking about? Being nice stems from your need for other people to accept you or other people to like you. But being kind is hard. Kind takes work. And showing kindness actually is about you having other people's interests at heart, not about what people think about you. Just think about it in any instance where you've had a conversation with someone that you really truly love, and you can see them going down the wrong path, and you choose not to say something because that wouldn't be nice. But that is not kindness. If you really cared about that person, you would show kindness and talk about some things that really need to be said. But that's why people don't do it, because being kind requires you to kind of be uncomfortable. It's so easy to walk around just being the nice guy, but the reality is you're only doing that to make yourself feel better. Kindness is about helping others. Kindness is not about you, it's about them. So I got a story to share with you. A little while back, I had a, let's just leave it at, really, really heated conversation and flat out kind of verbal battle with a mentor of mine. And shit, it wasn't comfortable. He let me have it. I came back strongly with defending myself and my opinion and my views. And fast forward, by the end of this very, very uncomfortable exchange, him and I kind of earned a little more respect for one another than we ever had before. And I'll tell you what, that conversation wasn't nice. But at the end of the day, it was about kindness. He expressed to me how he didn't agree with some things that I had said or some of my actions. And I, in turn, expressed to him that I didn't appreciate some of his actions. But at the end of the day, we ended up showing more kindness to one another because we were willing to actually have a difficult conversation. And that is one of the major worldwide issues that we have anymore. Like, look at the time of all this hate and all this polarization that we're living in. It honestly makes me sick. It makes me sad. But people don't realize is that we've lost the ability to have difficult conversations. Nobody wants to do it. So what do you end up with? You end up with people that just say, let's just be nice. They talk about it. Let's look out for one another. Let's be nice to one another. And when I see that shit, I honestly want to puke. I'm like, you're just saying that, but you're not willing to do the work to actually bring kindness, not niceness. And then you got the other side who have just thrown both of them out the window. They're not going to be kind. They're not going to be nice. They're just going to attack. And that's a really sad place for humanity. I don't want to live in a world that's full of this much hate and this much I'm right and you're wrong and this much dehumanizing other people. So I would challenge you guys listening to this, really dig deep within yourself and ask yourself, do you do things or say things to be nice? Or do you take the harder road and make it about others, not yourself, and work on being kind? So I'm going to leave you with a couple of questions for yourself today that will help you start the process and embracing the journey of becoming kind and showing kindness rather than just this weak ass, oh, I'm just going to be nice. Because being nice, the only reason you're doing that is because of what you think other people will think of you. So here you go. The things that it takes for you to develop kindness is, number one, you have to be willing to have tough conversations. And you have to be willing to have those conversations in a civil manner. God, anymore, I can barely even get on social media. I get on there and it's like the way people talk to one another is truly disgusting. Because nobody is willing to have a difficult conversation in a civil manner. Because you know what? That requires you to be uncomfortable. And that's number two. You have to start practicing being comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. And you have to start practicing being okay with being uncomfortable. The reality is our life is just way too easy anymore. We don't ever have to be uncomfortable. But that's not a good thing. We have to embrace being uncomfortable and letting go of what other people will think of us if we truly want to develop kindness, genuine, authentic kindness. And then thirdly, is that we have to be willing to listen and be empathetic. So you've probably heard me say it before. There's a big difference between sympathy and empathy. And I see so much sympathy all over the place, especially right now. All these people kind of trying to say that they see the other person's side, but they're really doing it in a way of let's just be nice and all get along and all love one another and post all these ridiculous pie in the sky social media memes. That doesn't cut it, right? Because what that actually is, that's just sympathy. I'm sympathetic for you. But sympathy is no more than just kind of a pat on the head and I'm really sorry about your situation, but I'm not willing to actually kind of get in the trenches with you
and be empathetic. Empathy means that you learn of someone else's struggle and you actually step back and take a part of their experience and their struggle within you. You own it with them and say, okay, like now what can we do to help? That's empathy. But empathy, again, is hard because let's get real. We all have enough of our own burdens to carry that we sometimes just don't feel like we have the interest or even the energy to take on someone else's struggle. But we have to do that. We have to do that in order to show kindness. So to summarize those three, really step back, take some time, and practice these 3 steps. You have to be willing to have uncomfortable and difficult conversations. Go out and do that. Do that this week. I want you to sit down with someone that you love and have that difficult conversation. We all have them out there, right? But none of us are really willing to say like, hey, I want to sit down and talk to you about this. But if you love other people, that's what you'll do. And you will too get used to and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because those conversations and the things that you voice your opinion on and those things that you go out there and stand up for, that may not make you very well liked. It may not be well received. But if you do it with patience and love and with true kindness in your heart, that's what matters. But you have to be ready for some people not to be willing to accept that. And you have to be willing to not be liked by everybody. And that's okay. And then thirdly is make sure that you are listening. You are empathetic and you let go of the need to constantly be right. So here's one last truth I'm going to leave you with today. If you constantly want to be nice, it's because you are more concerned about you. If you want to bring kindness to the world, it can't be about you. It is about others. Nice is weak. Nice is easy. And nice is complacent. Kindness is strength. It's struggle, it's challenge, but it is proactive. So always remember, choose kindness over merely being nice. Thanks again, as always, for tuning in. Hope this one helps you. Doing whatever I can over here to just try to spread some more love and kindness into the world. And not just talk about it, but actually proactively do something about it. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.